Welcome to this instructional video on installing the Arnott coil spring conversion kit for various GM SUVs, GMT K2YG and K2YC, long wheelbase. We'll guide you through the process to ensure a smooth and safe installation experience. Before starting, ensure you have the necessary safety measures in place which can be found in the vehicle owner's manual. Lift and immobilize the vehicle properly and isolate any stored energy to prevent injuries or damage. The product shown in the installation steps may look different than the part you are installing. The installation steps are the same, and all notices and warnings should be adhered to in the same manner. For the front shock removal, lift the vehicle and remove the applicable front wheel. Then unroot and disconnect the electrical connection. Remove the 3 top mount nuts and the 2 bottom mount bolts. Remove the shock assembly from the vehicle. This completes the removal. During installation of the new coilover strut, make sure to tighten all nuts and bolts to the manufacturer's specifications. Start by installing the assembled shock onto the vehicle. Then reinstall the 2 bottom mount bolts. Now also reinstall the 3 top mount nuts and reroute and connect the electrical connection. To complete the shock installation, reinstall the applicable front wheel. For the rear air shock or coil spring removal, start by removing the rear wheels. Then locate and remove the airlines to deflate the air shocks. Turn the metal clip approximately 90 degrees to remove the airline fitting from the air shock. Next, locate and remove the electrical connectors from the top of the air shocks. Also, loosen and remove the upper and lower shock mounting nuts. Now support the axle to relieve pressure from the air shock's mounting points. Remove the upper and lower air shock mounting bolts. You can now remove the air shocks from the vehicle. The next step is to remove the bolts and ride height sensors from the upper control arms. Now, remove the bolt and bracket holding the brake line to the rear differential, as well as the nuts on the upper sway bar end links. Using a jack or other suitable device, support the axle to release pressure from the sway bar end links. Remove the sway bar end link bolts. Then slowly lower the axle and remove the coil springs. For the rear coil spring installation, make sure to tighten all nuts and bolts to the manufacturer's specifications and secure the airlines and electrical connectors in suitable locations, as they are not used for this kit. First, place the rubber isolator onto the axle and install the coil spring into the vehicle. Be sure to keep the isolator properly aligned with the coil strut. Using a jack or other suitable device, raise the axle until the sway bar end link is realigned with the bolt holes. Now reinstall the sway bar end link bolts. Now install the shock into the vehicle. Also, install the upper and lower shock mounting hardware. Reinstall the brake line bracket and ride height sensors. Also, reinstall the wheel and lower the vehicle. To avoid the possibility of short circuits while working with electric components, consult your owner's manual on how to disconnect your battery. Also, consult your vehicle owner's manual, service manual, or car dealer for the correct jacking points on your vehicle and additional care, safety, and maintenance instructions. Under no circumstances should any work be completed underneath the vehicle if not adequately supported, as serious injuries can occur. We can now start the electronic bypass module installation. First, locate the BCM beneath the driver's side of the dash behind the OBD connector. Using the wiring diagram, match the wires and splice them together with the T-tap connectors. Once all the wires have been connected, you will need to secure the EBM under the dash and away from any source of heat or moving parts. The EBM installation is now complete. The next step is to remove the cover from the fuse box in the engine compartment. Remove the 30 ampere fuse in location 24 labeled as RTD. Now, secure the airlines and electrical connectors in suitable locations, as they are not used for this kit. Lastly, reinstall the fuse box cover, which completes the installation process. Thank you for following our guide on installing Arnott's coil spring conversion kit for various GM SUVs. Proper installation ensures the longevity and performance of your vehicle's suspension system. Stay safe and happy repairing.